wondering, why have we come here? Why do we talk about academic lecture? Before the pandemic, we found out that there were so many things that we do as a church. And as a church, not us as individuals, but church global, collective. However, when COVID happened, it happened to all of us. And beyond COVID, it's been 3 years, and we're still trying and reeling out of the whole experience of it. If you agree with me, most organizations globally have found that they have got to go back to the drawing board and see how do we move on from COVID. No matter what background that you are, maybe in banking, maybe in the medical area, maybe in the technological area, everybody's gone back to the drawing board to see what can we do to put COVID behind us. Now, I am part of the church. And in fact, I have been involved in church ministry for the past 30 years in one leadership role or the other. And I want to say that the church is one of the only organization or sphere of living that hasn't deliberately committed himself to finding how do we put COVID behind us? What do we do to move on from COVID? That is why we are here. And when you need something done, you need to find someone who can do it the best. And that's why we have our guest speaker here today. And I would just ask that you allow the media team to just give you a background information about who our guest speaker is.
Introducing
Dr. Sam Adeyemi.
What qualifies a clergyman to be recognized and mentioned on the invite-only Forbes Coaches Council?
Raising leaders. After more than 25 years as a dynamic teacher, success coach, leadership consultant, and pastor.
Added to his excellent leadership and success power broadcasts, it was only a matter of time for the Daystar Leadership Academy, DLA, to be established and has raised more than 40,000 leaders.
He is still as busy as ever as principal consultant with the Sam Adeyemi GLC Incorporated, a leading global leadership consulting company with a mission to raise high-impact leaders to shape the fortunes and destinies of nations.
Sam holds a Master of Arts degree in Leadership Studies from the University of Exeter, UK, and a Doctor of Strategic Leadership, which he obtained from Regent University, Virginia, USA.
And he is married to the dynamic Nike Adeyemi, his co-pastor, and they have 3 amazing children. That said, please welcome our next speaker,
Dr. Sam Adeyemi.
Yes, I don't know whether it's about is the case of three children to go. They got 3 children, we got 3 children. But the first time I listened to Dr. Sam spoke, I said, who is this man? Who is this man, the way he speaks and the way that he commands authority to impact on people? And going to Nigeria to sit under his ministry a couple of times, leading a team of people from Kingsborough, has been one of the most amazing experiences. We have dreamt about this a long time, Dr. Sam, to have you come to Uxbridge and be part of Kingsborough. And it is a joy for me to welcome you. That is a dream come true. Please welcome with me today, Dr. Sam Adeyemi. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please let's have a seat. So thank you so much, Pastor Tunde. Thank you for, should I say inviting me here? Or should I say dragging me here? There was no way out of it. I had to be here. And I want to say congratulations to you, to Pastor Toye, to your beautiful family, and to all of Kingsborough Centre. Congratulations. 20 years. 20 years of adding value to lives. And that's what it's all about. That's why I'm here, because we share in that passion. I bring greetings from my beautiful wife. Yes, and all of our family and our teams around the world. Okay, so I'm here to speak on the church strategy on community development. I should say that the very first time that Pastor Tunde and I met, and I heard of what Kingsborough Centre has been doing in terms of community development, I mean, I just fell in love with the church, I should say, honestly. So I'll be talking a bit more about my observations about community, the church and community development, especially with respect to new generation churches. Because we did not have a model, so to speak. It had to come by inspiration for us to intervene in public schools, building infrastructure for public schools in the environment and so on. There was no template for it. And I look back and I am happy that we did it, that we realized it was our business, to intervene in what was going on in the community. So this is the church strategy on community development. I'm hoping that this would be very useful, especially to church leaders in the years ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Kingsborough Church, distinguished faculty and students of Brunel University London, and everyone present. I stand before you today to delve into the topic that is not only close to my heart, but also of profound relevance to our contemporary society, the church strategy on community development. This paper explores the role of the church in community development, highlighting the transformative influence of personal transformation through the church's teachings. Despite the church's historical role as a cornerstone of community development, there has been a perceived decline in the extent and effectiveness of church engagement in modern communities. New generation churches in particular face challenges in establishing a significant presence in their communities due to increased secularization and a shift towards virtual engagement. Let's begin by taking a step back in time. The church has always been more than a place of worship. It has been a central node for social interaction, resource provision, and community cohesion. From early Christian times, churches have provided education, health care, and welfare to the needy, acting as a social safety net. These actions are a concrete reflection of the Christian values of love, compassion, and service to others. We see evidence of these in key historical periods where the church made significant contributions to community development. Fast forward to the present day, and we face a significant and different landscape. New generation churches often struggle to establish a substantial presence in their communities with increasing secularization and a shift towards virtual engagement, as I mentioned earlier on. Despite these challenges, the opportunity for the church to influence community development remains vast. The question is, how can we adapt to these changing circumstances while staying true to the values and mission of the church? The answer, I believe, lies in personal transformation, people who have been changed inside out by the teachings of the church. This transformation is not limited to spiritual growth, but extends to the social and moral dimensions of an individual's life. Such transformed individuals can serve as catalysts for community development through their families, non-profits, and businesses. I'm saying that the church's most important product is the individual. To illustrate, consider a family where parents embody the values of love, compassion, and service to others. These values are likely to be passed on to their children and extended to neighbors, creating a ripple effect in the community. Similarly, a non-profit or business that promotes these values will not only create a positive work environment, but also contribute to the community's well-being through its services and products. So what can new generation churches, families, non-profits, and businesses do to contribute to community development? Firstly, they can foster an environment that encourages personal transformation through the teachings of the church. Secondly, they can provide opportunities for individuals to apply these values in practical ways, be it through volunteering, philanthropy, or ethical business practices. Lastly, they can collaborate with other community stakeholders to address social issues, leveraging the strength of collective action. In the next 40 minutes, we will explore the historical roots of the church's involvement in the community, the challenges that new generation churches face, and how individuals can promote the values of Christ through their families, nonprofits, and businesses. So first, the historical role of the church in community development. The church's involvement in community development has a rich history, both within the United Kingdom and globally. We will explore the historical periods where the church made significant contributions to community development. The United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, the church's historical role in community development is deeply intertwined with the nation's social fabric. Dating back to the Middle Ages, churches served not only as places of worship, but also as centers of social and community life. It's actually seen in the design of cities, especially in the UK and around Europe, that the church was at the center of the community and everything else was designed around it. In the early Christian era, the church served as the primary provider of education. Monasteries were the hubs of learning, housing schools and libraries. The church was often the only institution providing education, opening the doors of literacy and knowledge to the society. The church's role in education continued into the Middle Ages with the establishment of the first universities, many of which have a religious foundation, such as Oxford and Cambridge here in the UK. The Reformation era saw the expansion of the church's influence, with the Anglican Church, for instance, establishing parish workhouses to aid the poor. The Methodist movement, spearheaded by John Wesley in the 18th century, emphasized practical Christian living and social justice, leading to the establishment of schools, hospitals, and outreach programs. Global impact. Beyond the United Kingdom, the church's footprint in community development is truly global. Missionary endeavors brought the church's influence to distant shores. Missionaries played a pivotal role in establishing schools and hospitals in places where education and health care were often scarce. In Africa, Asia, and the Americas, the church's involvement ranged from providing basic necessities to empowering local communities. Missionary schools became bastions of education, nurturing generations of scholars. Churches and missions also spearheaded efforts to combat poverty, famine, and disease. Innovative initiatives. Throughout history, the church has demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to changing circumstances. During industrialization, churches often took the lead in addressing the challenges faced by the urban poor, offering assistance in the form of food, shelter, and education. In the 20th century, as the world faced 2 world wars and economic upheaval, churches mobilized to provide humanitarian aid and to support refugees. They played a significant role in post-war reconstruction and reconciliation efforts. Healthcare and welfare services. Healthcare is another realm where the church has historically played a significant role. In the Middle Ages, the church provided care for the sick and dying through hospices. Monastic orders dedicated themselves to the care of the sick, leading to the establishment of the first hospitals. The church's involvement in healthcare has not ceased with modern medical advancements. So to this day, numerous hospitals and health centers worldwide are run by Christian organizations, providing essential health services, particularly in underserved areas. The church has also been pivotal in providing welfare to the needy. From the early Christian practice of agape, communal meals for the poor and shelter for the destitute, offered medical care, and the establishment of almshouses in the Middle Ages, the church has often been at the forefront of efforts to alleviate poverty. So today, many churches continue this tradition through food banks, homeless shelters, and other social services. To the credit of the Kingsborough Centre, they established the first food bank in London in 2009. That is something I'm really, really proud of. And congratulations on that. Community cohesion. In terms of community cohesion, the church has often acted as a unifying force, bringing people together in times of celebration and in times of crisis. The church's role as a social hub has allowed it to mediate conflicts, provide moral guidance, and foster a sense of community identity and belonging. Throughout history, the church has made significant contributions to community development, reflecting the Christian values of love, compassion, and service to others. While the church's role has evolved over time and across various contexts, its commitment to serving and improving communities remains a constant guiding principle. The historical context of the church's involvement in community development is a testament to its enduring commitment to the welfare of society. From humble beginnings to global outreach, the church has played a pivotal role in offering social support, charity, and fostering community cohesion. So as we examine the church's present and future role in community development, we must draw inspiration from its rich history. It serves as a reminder that the church has the capacity to adapt, innovate, and continue its mission of transforming lives and communities, aligning with the timeless values of love, compassion, and service. Modern day challenges. New generation churches and community development. The landscape of community engagement has changed. Today we see the emergence of new generation churches which bring fresh energy and perspectives. But they also face unique challenges in connecting with contemporary society. Our task is to navigate these challenges while staying true to the church's core mission. As we turn our attention to the present, we find that the landscape of community engagement by churches has evolved significantly. Today we witness the emergence of new generation churches, and they're facing unique challenges, and it's our task to navigate those challenges and remain faithful to our core mission of community development. Changing dynamics of faith. One of the key challenges faced by new generation churches is the shifting dynamics of faith and spirituality in the modern world. Traditional religious structures and rituals may not resonate with the younger generation, leading to a decline in church attendance. This necessitates innovative approaches to engage the youth and to connect with individuals seeking spiritual fulfillment in non-traditional ways. So I remember that as a part of the preparation towards this event, I was interviewed on the BBC, and I was asked that question. Generally, in the Church of England, you mostly have old people. They're few in number. The younger generation, for the most part, is not there. How do we attract young people? And I said, well, it does seem like the church has the reputation of being one institution that changes very slowly in the community. And in doing that, it disconnects with the younger generation. I said the church needs to have a lot of flexibility to allow young people with their idiosyncrasies, things that seem to irritate the older generation. We've got to make room for that. And I said something I've observed over time with the church. Whoever you want to see in the congregation, you need to have them on the pulpit. So that the earlier we involve the young people in leadership, the better for us. We have digital transformation. In an increasingly digital world, churches must adapt to changing communication channels. While technology offers unprecedented opportunities for outreach and community engagement, it also presents challenges in maintaining meaningful face-to-face interactions. Striking the right balance between online and offline engagement is crucial. A pastor told me how his teenage daughters said to him some months back, on Sunday morning, well, Dad, you and Mom can go along to church. We will attend the online church. and he said, get into the car, my friend. Why? Because for the younger generation, there's practically no line between online attendance and the physical one. But for the adult education, it's not yet church till we show up at the building. Contemporary social issues. New generation churches often grapple with addressing contemporary social issues such as mental health, addiction, sexual orientation, and social justice. These issues require nuanced responses and the willingness to engage with uncomfortable conversations, all while staying true to the church's core values. Cultural and demographic diversity. In many regions, especially metropolitan areas, churches encounter diverse congregations representing various cultures, languages, and backgrounds. Bridging cultural gaps and fostering inclusivity can be a complex challenge that requires careful consideration of the unique needs of each community. Financial sustainability. The economic challenges faced by individuals and communities can impact the financial sustainability of churches. Balancing the need to support community development initiatives with limited resources is a constant struggle, particularly for smaller congregations. Adapting to rapid change. The pace of change in society is rapid, with new challenges and opportunities constantly emerging. Churches must remain agile and adaptable to respond effectively to the evolving needs of their communities. Maintaining core values. Amidst these challenges, new generation churches must remain rooted in their core values of love, compassion, and service. Navigating modern-day complexities while upholding these values is an ongoing endeavor. The modern-day challenges faced by churches in community development are multifaceted and demand creative solutions. While the landscape has evolved, the church's mission remains steadfast in its commitment to bettering the lives of individuals and communities. New generation churches have the opportunity to bring fresh perspectives and approaches to address these challenges. ensuring that the church remains a force for positive change in the contemporary world. The holistic approach, transforming communities from the inside out. Central to our discussion today is a concept that goes to the heart of the church's mission in community development, the holistic approach. This approach is more than just addressing immediate material needs. It is about a profound transformation that starts from within individuals and extends outward, ultimately aligning them with the values of Christ and empowering them to become agents of positive change. The first dimension to this is spiritual transformation. At the core of the holistic approach is the idea of spiritual transformation. It recognizes that the true change begins with a transformation of the heart and mind. Churches engage in activities that nurture spiritual growth, encourage individuals to deepen their relationship with God, and embrace the values of love, compassion, and forgiveness. You know, this reminds me of a story I read about a pastor who was preparing his sermon for Sunday. His wife was out of home, but their young son would not give him the space to prepare his sermon in peace. The young boy was going in and out of the study. So the pastor decided to keep the young man very busy. He tore off a page, from a magazine. It had the map of the world. He tore the page into pieces. In other words, he tore the world into pieces and gave the pieces to his son. He said, I want you to go and put the world together. He knew that I was going to keep the boy busy for quite a while, putting those pieces together. But the boy was back in a few minutes. And he had the picture correct. He had the page correct. So the dad was shocked. He said, how did you do it? The young boy said, Dad, before you tore the page into pieces, I was looking at the other side of the page, and it had the picture of a man. So I knew that instead of trying to put the world together, all I needed to do was to put the man together. I knew that if I put the man together, the whole world will also be together. And then the light bulb just went off in the dad's head. He said, oh my God, thank you. Actually, I was struggling to find what to preach tomorrow. You just gave me what to preach. If you can put the man together, then you can put his world together. And that speaks to the heart of the church's message, right? That real transformation in our world begins with the transformation of individuals. It works from the inside out. Character development. Holistic community development places a strong emphasis on character development. It seeks to instill values such as integrity, empathy, and humility in individuals. By cultivating these qualities, individuals become not only better members of their communities, but also more compassionate and empathetic leaders. This is very important. Our values as communities, our values as a society, we can advance in science and technology, but at the end of the day, we would use them for destructive purposes than constructive ones if we don't balance the advancement with the building of character. Education and empowerment. Education is a key component of the holistic approach. Churches provide educational opportunities to equip individuals with the knowledge and skills needed to improve their quality of life. This includes not only traditional education, but also life skills, vocational training, and financial literacy programs. At this point also, I'll commend Kingsborough Centre, the Kingsborough Centre, for establishing a child daycare nursery. Many years ago, I understand that our pastor's son was one of the first students And now he's a university student. Congratulations. Family and relationships. Recognizing the importance of the family unit, churches work to strengthen families and relationships within the community. Healthy families serve as the foundation for a thriving community. Counseling, marriage enrichment programs, and support for parents are common elements of this approach. Community building. The holistic approach extends beyond individuals and encompasses the entire community. It fosters a sense of community, a sense of unity and collective responsibility. Churches promote community building activities, social gatherings, and projects that address common challenges, strengthening the bonds among community members. Social justice and advocacy. In alignment with the values of Christ, the holistic approach includes advocacy for social justice. Churches speak out against injustice, work to alleviate poverty, and advocate for the marginalized and vulnerable in the society. They aim to create a more just and equitable community for all. Measuring spiritual and social impact. Measuring the impact of the holistic approach goes beyond conventional metrics. Churches assess not only tangible outcomes, such as improved living conditions, but also intangible outcomes, such as increased social cohesion and spiritual growth. They seek to understand how individuals and communities have been transformed at a deeper level. The holistic approach for churches' involvement in community development is a profound and comprehensive strategy. It acknowledges that the well-being of individuals and communities is intricately linked to their spiritual and moral development. By aligning with the values of Christ and focusing on personal transformation, churches play a vital role in shaping not only the physical well-being, but also the character and resilience of the communities they serve. This approach ensures that the church remains a beacon of positive change in an ever-evolving world. So let's discuss the modern church and innovations in community development. The modern church's role in community development and engagement is an evolving and dynamic topic. While there are challenges presented by secularization and virtual engagement, there are also opportunities for churches to have a significant impact on their communities. This is true not only in the United Kingdom, but also around the world. In many parts of the world, including the UK, there has been a decline in religious affiliation and participation. This means that churches may struggle to establish a substantial presence in their communities and engage with a diverse range of individuals. However, this challenge presents an opportunity for churches to adapt and to find new ways to connect with people who may not be traditionally religious. Another significant shift in community engagement is the move towards virtual platforms. Technological advancements have allowed churches to reach a wider audience through online services, social media, and other digital platforms. While virtual engagement provides opportunities for churches to connect with individuals who may not attend physical services, it also presents a challenge in terms of building deeper relationships and fostering a sense of community. Churches need to find ways to balance virtual and physical engagement to ensure meaningful connections with their communities. Despite these challenges, the church still has the potential to influence community development positively. Churches can play a vital role in addressing social issues, promoting social justice, and providing support to vulnerable populations. They can offer various community services, such as food banks, counseling, educational programs, and outreach initiatives. By actively engaging with their communities and collaborating with local organizations, churches can contribute to the overall well-being and development of the communities they serve. Again, I am inspired by the engagement of the Kingsborough Centre with local communities here, with the mayor's office and so on, providing information for the community and being involved in discussing the affairs of the community. Secondly, churches can focus on building partnerships and collaborations with other community organizations, local government, and businesses. By working together, churches can leverage resources and expertise to maximize their impact. Partnering with existing community development initiatives can also help churches avoid duplicating efforts and ensure a coordinated approach to addressing community needs. Further, churches can embrace innovation and adapt to the changing needs of their communities. This may involve utilizing technology to enhance virtual engagement, exploring new approaches to worship and discipleship, and being open to new ideas and perspectives. By embracing change and being responsive to the evolving needs of their communities, churches can remain relevant and effective in their engagement efforts. You know, some 2 years before COVID happened, I was just reviewing data in our church, you know, the data of the weekly attendance, and I spotted a pattern, a significant pattern. The increase in the number of people attending online. It was remarkable. You know, it just came to my attention, then I backed up, checked over several weeks and months, and I saw that the number of those attending online was increasing, and we were now having some 12,000 to 15,000 connections every weekend. And I said, what? That's a mega church. That's huge. So I took that to our management team and said, there's some dissonance happening already. I said, check our language to those people that attend online. When we welcome people to the services, then we would say, oh, let's welcome everyone to the service. Let's welcome the online audience. So I said, they are not spectators. They're not audience. They are they are attending the services, and they are as real as the people we're looking at physically. I said, if we don't pay attention to them, something is going to go wrong somewhere, and we're going to lose them. And of course, we had provided electronic channels for people to give. So obviously, a lot of those people online were giving just like the people attending physically. So we then did a major review. Eventually, we decided, you know what? We've got to treat them as a whole center. Now we have satellite centers spread around our city. We decided to consider them as a center and to give them a pastor. So then we had an online pastor. And then we had workers serving just the online church. And then when it came to the service, we went through every aspect of the service and saw how to include them, including having people that welcome them to the service and then that then take them to join what's going on, you know, in the service. So it's a welcome to the service. And gratefully, because it's a large church and we have people actually that they see on TV, quite a number of those people offered. So the faces that they see on TV, they see them welcoming them to the service, and then they say, oh, let's join the service now. Then the worship starts. When we receive new people into the service, receive guests, in fact, we decided to talk to them first before we talk to the people present physically. And then we would have guest cards, right, that people fill. So we created the digital version. And then we would put the link in the chat room. In fact, recently we added the QR code that we display on the screen, right, to include them. You know what then happened? Not many months later, the number of those attending online overtook the number of those attending physically. Then COVID happened. And it was just a smooth transition. All that stopped were the physical services. Then everybody moved online, right? But we were ready, okay? So I'm just saying, the church needs to adapt, okay? Innovate and adapt. It's important to note that the approach to church and community engagement may vary across different regions and cultures. Therefore, it is crucial for churches to contextualize their strategies and initiatives to the specific needs and dynamics of the communities they serve. This is important. In our contemporary world, new generation churches are stepping up to respond to the evolving challenges of community development. These churches are pioneering innovative approaches that extend far beyond the confines of traditional religious spaces. They are actively engaging with their communities in creative ways, addressing both immediate needs and complex societal issues. Let's delve into how new generation churches can make a difference in the United Kingdom and around the world. Educational initiatives. Some new generation churches have recognized the transformative power of education, like Kingsborough Centre. They are now establishing socially relevant educational programs that range from tutoring services for students to adult literacy classes, leadership academies, entrepreneurial schools, and skills acquisition programs. By investing in education, both formal and informal, these churches empower individuals to improve their skills and to expand their opportunities. Job training and employment support. Unemployment and underemployment are pressing issues in many communities. New generation churches can take a proactive stance by offering job training workshops, career counseling hubs, resume building seminars, and even job placement services. These initiatives help individuals gain access to meaningful employment opportunities. Addressing social issues. New generation churches cannot shy away from addressing contemporary social issues. They must tackle issues such as homelessness, substance abuse, mental health, and domestic violence through outreach programs, support groups, and partnership with relevant organizations. By directly engaging with these issues, churches work to transform lives and communities. Community outreach and events. New generation churches must be involved in organizing community events, such as free food banks, public school building rehabilitation, free healthcare services, back-to-school initiatives, and cultural celebrations. These activities serve not only as avenues for providing immediate assistance, but also as opportunities to foster a sense of belonging and unity within the community. I remember the first experience we had in engaging in the rehabilitation of public school facilities. We actually were preparing, to build a new building for our church. And I was praying, and interestingly, the inspired idea I got was, no, it's not church you're going to build first. Do something for the community first. It's amazing. It's something I will forever be grateful for. Because it was an inspired idea. Do something for the school across the road. I walked in there, just asked our church administrator to come with me, walked into the public school, and saw how run down the school was. I could not believe it. I said, what? I attended public schools in Nigeria. And now I walk into a public school and there isn't a single chair or desk. Maybe those of us here in the UK may not be able to relate with it, right? Not a single chair or desk in any classroom. And the principal said, this was a high school. And the principal said, if any child wanted to sit on a seat, they had to bring it from home. I said, what? They said, so the floors had holes. The roof had holes. When it rained, the students found the part of the classroom where the rain was not falling, and tears just welled up in my eyes. I said, what did these kids do to this society? Why should they be treated this way? Because I learned many years ago, what goes into a mind comes out in a life. I knew the future was being shaped already, and it was not looking good. And we asked the principal of the school, what do we do? Where do we start? And the principal said, the big problem is when they write external examinations, they don't even have where to sit. Can you help us with that? So we built a whole new hall, equipped it, furnished with furniture. And then the principal said, as you can see, only the poorest of the poor will send their children here. He said some of them are so poor they cannot even afford notebooks. So we said, fine. So we produced 10 notebooks each for every student in the school. But this is where I'm going. When we were through and we wanted to hand the projects over, to the school, we did not realize that news had gone around the whole community because, of course, it's the children of the school and the community that attend the school. So it was the people in the community that said, no, you can't just build it and walk away like that. That they were going to reach out to the governor of the state, that he had to come attend the event. There had to be a public handing over. And truly, the governor sent his deputy, and we found that most of the people in the community were Muslims. But that effort generated tremendous goodwill for us. Because they saw that, when it came to the school, it didn't matter what your religion was. Everybody's child went to the school anyway, so with that we got tremendous goodwill that encouraged us to do more through the years. Technology and online engagement. Recognizing the significance of digital communication, new generation churches must harness technology to connect with their communities. They now utilize social media, streaming services, and online platforms to reach a wider audience and to offer virtual support and resources. Entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. Some new generation churches are promoting entrepreneurship and economic empowerment by providing mentorship, microloan programs, and business development resources. These initiatives encourage individuals to start and grow their own businesses, contributing to economic growth within the community. Interestingly, this is one other area where we had some remarkable experience. So some 22 years ago, we were reviewing why our church was not growing as fast as we wanted it to. And we created a persona, the ideal person our church should reach. We asked, who are the people that live within 5 miles radius or 5 kilometers radius of our church? What's the demography? What's the age distribution? What are their needs? And the answer came clear. Poverty came number 1. So we asked ourselves, let's look at our church ministry from the preaching down to all our outreach programs. How have we been addressing the poverty problem? The first remarkable thing that showed up was that with respect to our preaching, the only thing we had been preaching was the need for the people to give. That was all we had preached in terms of finances. Give. And the implications stared us in the face clearly. How do you ask people to give when they don't have? So that changed my own prayer point. I said, Lord, is there anything in the Bible I can teach people that will help them to get the money? I want to teach that first. Then I can teach them to give when they have. I got answers to my prayer because I was surprised that I was reading through the Bible and I saw entrepreneurship. Just jumped right out at me. Abraham was a businessman, Isaac was a businessman, Jacob was a businessman. Even Jesus Christ was a businessman till the age 30. I said, wow. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the God of entrepreneurs. I began to teach entrepreneurship on Sunday morning. it was crazy because I had no model. It felt wrong. It was like, is that your business? Aren't you a pastor? Why should you be talking about business? But then on the other hand, I remembered again, but the data is saying that poverty is the number one problem. I would be a hypocrite if I don't talk about it. So it was like a risk, but I went on. 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the amazing thing was that people were pouring in because it was so helpful. And so many young people started their businesses, including university students. And today, over 20 years later, I look back and I am absolutely grateful that we made that contribution to our community, because many of those businesses are big businesses employing hundreds of people now. Some actually thousands. Some of them have built huge businesses. You know, for an example, one of them said that some few years back, they brought in over 1 billion liters of petroleum products into Nigeria. Just to let you know, they own tank farms, own ships, and now it's diversified business that is into education, farming, and all sorts, from an individual who was attending one of those classes then. Partnerships and collaboration. New generation churches must understand the power of collaboration. They must actively seek partnerships with non-profit organizations, government agencies, local businesses, and other churches to maximize their impact and pool resources for community development. Youth and next generation engagement. Engaging the youth is a priority for new generation churches. They must organize youth groups, mentorship programs, and leadership development initiatives to nurture the next generation of community leaders and socially conscious individuals. New generation churches must be seen to be at the forefront of innovative community development efforts. They recognize that addressing contemporary challenges requires a dynamic and holistic approach. By actively engaging with their communities and focusing on practical solutions, these churches are not only transforming individual lives, but also contributing to the betterment of society at large. Their willingness to move beyond the traditional boundaries of religious institutions makes them powerful catalysts for positive change in the United Kingdom and around the world. If I should add something in terms of innovation here, I'll say churches need to pay attention to the media and to the entertainment industry. I should add sports too, right? If you want to talk to young people, try and speak through entertainment. You will likely get their attention. Am I right? Some of their greatest role models right now are in sports or in the entertainment industry. These individuals command bigger followers than religious leaders do, or church leaders do, right? Uncomfortable truth. Individual impact on community development, channels of change. Let's try and land this somewhere. As individuals associated with churches, you have a crucial role to play. It's not just about attending services. It's about embodying and promoting the values of Christ in your everyday life. Your actions in your families, your involvement in non-profit initiatives, and even your businesses can become channels through which Christ's values are manifested, creating a profound ripple effect in your communities. Let's explore how individuals can become channels through which Christ's values are manifested, creating a profound ripple effect in their communities. First, family values and relationships. Individuals have a profound impact on their families by modeling Christ-like values of love, forgiveness, and compassion within their households. They create a nurturing environment that actively and positively influences the character and well-being of family members. Strong and loving families form the foundation for resilient communities. Volunteering and non-profit initiatives. Getting involved in non-profit initiatives and volunteering is a powerful way for individuals to contribute to community development. Whether it's helping at a local food bank, mentoring youth, or participating in neighborhood cleanup efforts, these actions have a direct and visible impact on the well-being of the community. Businesses and social responsibility. Entrepreneurs and business leaders have a unique opportunity to integrate Christ's values into their businesses. This can involve ethical business practices, fair employment, and giving back to the community through corporate social responsibility initiatives. Businesses that prioritize social impact contribute significantly to community development. It's got to be a whole lot more than profit. It's got to be about people. Acts of kindness and compassion. Everyday acts of kindness and compassion matter. Simple gestures like helping a neighbor in need, supporting a struggling colleague, or showing empathy to someone facing difficulties can create a culture of caring within a community. These small actions collectively contribute to a more compassionate and supportive environment. Advocacy and social justice. Individuals can become advocates for social justice causes. As an individual, you can raise awareness about issues such as poverty, inequality, and discrimination, and actively participate in movements that seek to address these challenges. Advocacy efforts, even on a small scale, can drive positive change at the community level. Mentorship and education. Sharing knowledge and mentorship can empower others to grow and succeed. Individuals can volunteer as mentors, tutors, or educators, helping others acquire the skills and knowledge needed for personal and professional development. Honestly, it's one thing I see around the world. People underestimate the value of their stories. And I tell older people, share your stories. Say, oh, well, I'm still struggling to do well myself. Say, well, even those struggles. In fact, maybe it's those struggles that are even more valuable for the younger generation because they're going through their own challenges. Community engagement and leadership. Active participation in community organizations, neighborhood associations, and local government allows individuals to have a voice in shaping their communities. By taking on leadership roles, they can influence policies and initiatives that promote community development. Role modeling. Individuals can serve as role models for the younger generation. By consistently demonstrating Christ-like values in their actions and decision-making, they inspire others to follow a similar path of compassion, empathy, and service. Individuals associated with churches and beyond have the potential to be catalysts for community development. Their actions, both big and small, create a ripple effect that can transform the lives of individuals and the well-being of entire communities. By embodying Christ's values in their everyday lives and actively engaging with their communities, individuals become the driving force behind positive change in the United Kingdom and across the globe. Maybe I should mention as a side note, power has been democratized. The media has been democratized. Everyone can amplify their voices now with our phones. Social media, especially, now makes your phone your own radio station, your TV station. Yes. Say what you want to say and put it out there. And let me encourage someone from experience. Don't be too concerned about the number of likes. There are loads of people that see what you posted that don't engage with your post. I hope that encourages someone. Collaborative strategies for church-led community development. So community development is not a one-church endeavor. Across the United Kingdom and worldwide, churches can harness the power of collaboration with non-profit organizations, government agencies, and businesses to create a more comprehensive and impactful approach to community development. Let's explore how collaborative strategies can assist churches in achieving lasting change. Leveraging expertise. Collaboration allows churches to tap into the specialized expertise of partner organizations. Non-profits may have experience in social services, while government agencies can provide resources and policy support. Businesses often bring financial resources and a unique perspective on economic development. Resource pooling. By working together, churches and their partners can pool their resources. This can include financial resources, volunteers, facilities, and equipment. This resource sharing amplifies the capacity to address various community needs effectively. Comprehensive solutions. Communities face multifaceted challenges, from poverty and homelessness to education and healthcare. Collaborative efforts enable a more holistic approach that addresses these challenges comprehensively. For example, a church may focus on providing food, while the non-profit partner addresses housing and the business collaborates on job training. Avoiding duplication. Collaboration helps avoid duplication of efforts. When multiple organizations work independently on similar issues, resources can be wasted. Collaborative strategies ensure that efforts are coordinated and resources are used more efficiently. Stakeholders' engagement. Involving various stakeholders in collaborative efforts promotes community engagement and empowerment. When local residents, churches, non-profits, and businesses work together, it fosters a sense of ownership and shared responsibility for community development. Policy advocacy. Collaborative efforts can extend to advocating for policy changes at the local, regional, or national levels. Churches and their partners can collectively push for policies that support community development, address systemic issues, and promote social justice. Scalability. Collaborative models are often more scalable and sustainable. When multiple organizations are involved, initiatives can grow and adapt to changing needs over time. This scalability ensures that positive changes are not limited to one community, but can be replicated elsewhere. Diverse perspectives. Collaboration brings together diverse perspectives and ideas. This diversity can lead to more innovative solutions and a richer understanding of the complex challenges communities face. Collaborative strategies are a powerful tool for churches in community development efforts. They expand the reach and impact of church-led initiatives, promote resource efficiency, and foster a sense of collective responsibility within communities. By partnering with non-profits, government agencies, and businesses, churches can create a comprehensive, sustainable, and transformative approach to addressing the multifaceted needs of communities in the United Kingdom and around the world, ultimately bringing about lasting change. Finally, measuring impact. Enhancing the effectiveness of church-led community development. How do we know if our efforts are making any difference? We need to establish methods and metrics for measuring the impact of our community development initiatives. This includes both tangible outcomes, such as improved living conditions, and intangible outcomes, like increased social cohesion and spiritual growth. In the realm of church-led community development, measuring impact is not just a matter of curiosity, it's a fundamental tool for assessing the effectiveness of initiatives and ensuring that they are making a positive difference in the lives of individuals and communities. Whether in the United Kingdom or across the world, the process of measuring impact serves several crucial purposes. Number one, accountability and transparency. Measuring impact helps churches maintain accountability to their congregations, donors, and the wider community. It demonstrates transparency in how resources are used and the outcomes are achieved. Secondly, continuous improvement. Through rigorous impact measurement, churches can identify what is working well and where improvements are needed. This data-driven approach allows for the refinement and enhancement of community development strategies over time. Evidence-based decision-making. Data on impact provides churches with evidence-based insights. It informs decision-making processes, helping to allocate resources to initiatives that have the greatest positive effect. Resource allocation. With limited resources, churches must make informed choices about where to invest time, money, and effort. Impact measurement guides resource allocation by highlighting areas of greatest need and potential impact. Building partnerships. Having quantifiable evidence of the positive changes brought about by community development initiatives makes it easier to build partnerships with other organizations, including nonprofits, government agencies, and businesses. It demonstrates the value of collaboration. Next, public awareness and support. Sharing the results of impact assessments can raise public awareness and support for church-led community initiatives. It can inspire others to get involved and to contribute to the cause. That's important. Tailoring programs to community needs. Impact measurement can reveal the unique needs and challenges within specific communities. This information allows churches to tailor their programs to address these specific issues, ensuring that initiatives are relevant and effective. Demonstrating value beyond material outcomes. While tangible outcomes like improved living conditions are important, impact measurement also considers intangible outcomes. These may include increased social cohesion, improved mental well-being, and spiritual growth. Such measures acknowledge the holistic nature of community development. And then long-term sustainability. Measuring impact encourages a long-term perspective. It helps churches assess the sustainability of their initiatives, ensuring that the positive changes achieved endure over time. Measuring impact is an indispensable component of effective church-led community development efforts. It serves as a compass, guiding churches in their mission to make a positive difference in the lives of individuals and communities. By quantifying and assessing the outcomes of their initiatives, churches in the United Kingdom and around the world can not only enhance their effectiveness, but also provide tangible evidence of the transformative power of their work, ultimately fostering greater positive change in the communities they serve. In conclusion, the church's highest strategy, again, is people who have been changed from the inside out. Our history is rich with examples of how the church has been a beacon of hope and transformation in communities. Today, as we navigate the challenges of the modern world, we must adapt our strategies while remaining rooted in our core values. I urge each of us to consider how we can embody and promote the values of Christ in our own spheres of influence. Remember, community development is not a task for a few, but a responsibility for all. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to the discussions that will follow this presentation, and happy anniversary once again to the Kingsborough Centre. Thank you.
Our theme for this month of October is Divine Visitation, and we are eager to delve into the blessings that come with it. Let's come together in faith, anticipating a divine encounter and spiritual refreshment. And also, let's have a great month.
Attention Hadassah ladies, we're excited to announce an Eat Out bonding session on Sunday, October 15th, right after the Sunday service. Stay tuned for more details, which will be shared in our group.
We will be reading the book of Proverbs together. More information and updates will be passed on our WhatsApp platform. Looking forward to a wonderful time of fellowship and growth.
In an effort to stay connected and engage with our community, we invite you to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. By following us on these platforms, you will have access to regular updates, inspiring content, and news about upcoming events and programs. We encourage you to like, share, and engage with our posts to help spread our message and promote our community. In addition to our social media accounts, we also encourage you to visit our website regularly. Our website is a valuable resource where you find information about our services, events, and programs. You can also make donations, register for events, and learn more about our mission and values. Our website address is www.kingsborough.org.uk. We look forward to staying connected with you online.